Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy For Now. It's me, Isabel, here with a delightful little roundup of anticipated releases for January to June of 2025. I'm definitely better at keeping up with the 6-month version of this versus quarterly, so there's that. But also, as always, this is non-comprehensive and also does not cover most of my indie reads because I feel like I don't have release dates for a lot of my indie books until a month ahead or so. So if you're looking for indie, that is generally speaking in my monthly resets where I talk about potential reads. I usually talk about upcoming indie releases that I'm excited about. So let's dive directly into January because there's a lot on here. I don't know a ton about these either. I will tell you that this is going to be very brief synopses and information. Some of these I know more about, some of them I know less about. So we're going to start right away with January 7th. We have Adrift in the Currents, Clean and Clear. I've already read this. It is coming in a vlog in early January where I read a bunch of my arcs. I think I'm reading through March. It may only be through February. I have a lot to read. So we're going to get as far as we can get and then post the video and then we'll do a part 2 if we need to. This is the 10th Wayward Children book. It continues our story. We follow Nadia, who has limb difference. So one of her arms is missing after the elbow. And it follows her adoption story from Russia and all these things. It's very good. I really liked the world she was in. I really enjoyed all of this. It felt very reminiscent of some of the books where we really just focused on the kids and less on the school and to the portal world they went to. So I loved it. Such a good time. Then we have Single Player by Tara Tai. This is a sapphic video game based romance. So I'm very in. I think this sounds so fun. I'm very, very excited for it. I would like to read it pretty soon after it comes out, to be honest with you, because again, I'm just very into this entire premise. I do believe there's sort of enemies or rivals of some sort, there's some sort of dislike going on. So, I don't know, it's just more interests colliding, you know? Then on the 14th, we have Let's Call It a Truce, or Let's Call a Truce. This is a romance debut, and I have the audiobook arc for this. And I'm listening to it right now, and I am enjoying it a good bit. This follows Juliana, who is a widow. She goes back to work in HR. And Ben is her nemesis, sort of. They have great chemistry, they have mutual friends, and they are navigating a lot of things as far as her going back to work. And then we fast forward 2 years later, there's some reveals. It's very fascinating. They have off-the-wall chemistry, though, in the book, so I'm really, really excited to see how it all plays out. Next, on the 21st, we have The Relationship Mechanic. This is by Carmen Lee. This is a small town rom-com that is also sapphic. I don't know a ton about it. It is from the Afterglow series, and I do believe it's the sequel to the 7-10 Split, which I have not read either, but I'm curious enough that I really want to try this. Next we have She Doesn't Have a Clue. This is by Jenny Elder Moak. This is a murder and a second chance of love story. She's attending her ex-fiance's wedding and the bride's poisoned. So it just sounds really interesting. It sounds like a really interesting mix. I'm curious. Next, on January 20th, we have Spiral by Bal Cabra. This is the sequel to Collide. If you liked Icebreaker, I think you will love this. I'm really, really excited for Spiral. I know nothing. I have an arc of it. I'm going to be reading it soon, but I cannot wait. I'm very, very pumped. Let's dive right into February, literally, because on February 4th, we get Deep End from Natalie Hazelwood, formerly known as Wet. W-A-G-T. Wet. I'm so sad they changed the title. But this is about a competitive diver and swimmers and stuff in college. This sounds really fun. This also sounds like a change of pace from Allie, which I really liked Bride because same thing. It was a nice change of pace from Allie. I'm hoping for similar vibes here. I'm pumped. Then we also have Unloved by Peyton Corinne. I loved Unsteady, so I'm very excited for this. I do have an arc of it also, and I will be reading it very soon. It's very high on my priority list to read. On the 18th, we have I Got Abducted by Aliens, and Now I'm Trapped in a Rom-Com by Kimberly Lemming. This is her newest series. I do believe it's going to be a series. This follows a girl who gets abducted by aliens and is in a rom-com. The cover is delightful. I'm really hopeful. I love it. We'll see how it plays out. I do have an arc of this as well, so fingers freaking crossed. So yeah, next we have Never Planned on You by Lindsay Hammeroff. This is a story about a second chance romance. She is a chef in New York, and she's learning to be a wedding planner. And it looks like she has a reuniting moment with Graham, our hero. So I'm very curious to see how that goes. Next, we have Wooing the Witch Queen by Stephanie Burgess. This is by Bramble. So this is a new romantic fantasy situation, actually. This is a gas lamp lit world with hags and ogres in thick pine forest, magical queens, and an uneasy alliance to protect their lands. This follows a witch queen. And she's gotten the throne from her evil uncle, it looks like. And this new librarian is the love interest that she's hired. I'm very curious. I think it sounds really cute. I also have an audiobook arc of this one, so I'm hopeful again that I'll have a good time. And then we move right into March, because that's all I got for February. On March 4th, we have Finley Donovan Digs Her Own Grave. I need to read the other Finley so I can be current to read this one, but I'm very, very excited for the new Finley Donovan, and I've really enjoyed this series. I think they're fun, they're quirky, they're silly, and sometimes that's just what I want out of these kinds of books versus like overly serious or in-depth mysteries. Then I also have Shadow's Heart by Cressley Cole. This is supposed to come out. It has been moved once, so we're fingers crossed it doesn't get moved again, because I would love to have this to read in March. That sounds like a fantastic addition to my life. And truly, I'm just waiting because I love Cressley Cole so much. Then on the 11th, we have Fan Service by Rosie Dannon. I like to do Your Worst a good bit, so I'm really excited to try this one. This one follows like an actor and a fan of the series. He maybe turns into a werewolf. I don't remember fully. I don't really care. I just love this cover, and I think it sounds so funny when I like initially read the premise. Then I have My Big Fat Fake Marriage. This has a Ted Lasso looking main character, so I will be reading this. This is by Charlotte Stein. This will be my first Charlotte Stein, maybe, probably, so that'll be interesting. But also on top of that, like, I just really want to dive into this. I don't know, the first one was like Roy inspired, this one looks Ted inspired. I loved the premise of that, and I'm here for like kind of bonkers contemporaries, because that's what I like the most, is a bonkers-ish contemporary. Next we have Shoot Your Shot by Lexi LaFleur Brown. This is one of my most anticipated hockey romances this year, because, y'all, she's literally a wife of a hockey player. Well, a former hockey player. He's retired now. But I'm just saying, like, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to read this. Then we have Pole Position. This is by Rebecca J. Caffrey. This is a romance that was indie and is being republished. I don't know if you can still get it or not, but anyways, I know it's coming back out / getting a big release, wide release. It's supposed to be Red, White, and Royal Blue meets Formula One. I've heard good things. A lot of people I know have liked it, so I'm just intrigued enough to want to pick it up at some point. Okay, and then on March 25th, we have King of Envy by Anna Wong. I still need to read The Striker, y'all, but I really did not like King of Sloth. I thought it was fine. So I'm hoping King of Envy holds up. If not, and if I don't like Striker, I think we're done, but we'll see what happens. Who knows? Let's move into April, because April 1st, we have quite a few releases. We have Sweet Obsession by Katie Robert. I do have an arc of this already, and I'm very, very excited for it. It will be in one of my arc vlogs that I'm doing this year. This is book 8 in Dark Olympus. This is Poseidon and, oh my god, I can't remember his name. Anyways, it's Poseidon and this other guy. It's MM. Then we have Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man by Jessie Q. Sutanto. I loved the first book in Vera Wong. I cannot wait for the second book. Feel like I've been waiting an eternity, because I have. It's been like 2 years. So I'm really, really pumped to see how this unfolds. Then we also have Sail Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. This is the one Abby Jimenez book that I do have an arc of, and I don't know if I'll read it, because this does deal heavily with dementia. And I don't know if I'm there yet, y'all. I just don't know if I'm there yet. We'll see. I might try it and very softly DNF it if it's too much for me, but I'm very nervous. Very, very nervous to see how that all plays out. Then on April 30th, we have Along Came Amor by Alexis Daria. I finally feel like I can get caught up on her series again. This is the third book in her series that follows You Had Me at Hola. I love this cover. I don't know a ton about it. I don't even know a ton about it, because I just love these. I think it's all the cousins getting like their happily ever after, but I could be wrong. Either way, I'm pumped to have more Alexis Daria. She's one of the earlier romance authors I was reading and loving. Next, we have May. Oh my goodness. Okay, so May only has one day of releases for me, which is wild. First, on the 20th, we have Ride With Me by Simone Soltani. This is the next book in the Cross the Line series. I loved Cross the Line. It was so fun. I had just such a blast with it. It felt like what I've been craving from a lot of contemporaries, so I'm hoping this one also delivers. We also have The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. I need to finish the other duology, but I'm very curious to see how this one goes. I like the cover. I'm intrigued. It's probably romantasy-ish. Then in June, so on the 3rd, we have Ready to Score by Jodie Slaughter. This is a sapphic book with rival football coaches. Sign me up. Just sign me up. Immediately in. Then on the 10th, we have Plus Size Player by Danielle Allen. This follows the other book that came out last year, Curvy Girl Summer. So I'm pumped to see how this is. It sounds like a good time to me. I don't know a ton about it, but I'm in. Then on the 17th, we have I Think I'm in Love with an Alien by Anna Guire. This is, as she said on Blue Sky, for her Garrus lovers. And I am a Garrus lover. I mean, oh, that's Kakashi right now. I don't know. I used to have a Garrus behind me too. I'm in. Give me the Garrus. Thank you. So not only, also the cover is just fantastic. This is a nerdy heroine, so I'm just extra in always with that too. Then last but not least, on the 24th of June, we have When Javi Dumped Mari. This is by Mia Sosa. I have enjoyed a lot of Mia Sosa books, more than I've not enjoyed. So I'm very, very excited to see how this goes and what I think of it when I do get to finally pick it up. That's a lot of the books I'm excited for in 2025. Let me know what y'all are pumped for, what things you want me to try and get so I can talk about them in the vlogs I'm doing. Because, you know, if you get me intrigued enough, I'll try and get an arc of it to read for one of those vlogs. But yeah, I'm sure more will come to my attention and those will show up in my resets. But I'm excited overall still for a really fun reading year in 2025. Let me know, what you're excited for. If you don't want to do any of that, you can leave me sparkle emoji of your choice, like the 3-star sparkly emoji or something. Confetti, I don't know, one of those. Go for it. You can leave me one of those down below. And I'll have links to everything down there for you, links to my friend anywhere on the internet that I am, and I will catch y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions. We'll get away. This is what we